So the question is, how does the system work? And I think the first thing you have to look at is, normally when you buy a jacket, you go into the store and you look at a label and you say, I want the highest MVTR that I possibly can get. And in most cases, that's probably the best choice. But when you buy something, how do you know what you're going to wear with it? How do you know that what you're wearing with it is actually going to maximize that performance? And so you run into the problem of saying, maybe I'm going to buy a really expensive outer layer, but I'm going to buy a really cheap base layer. You're not going to get that performance. When you wear that garment, you're wearing the whole system. And so the system has to work together. If it doesn't work together, then it doesn't matter how good your outer garment is. And so I'm going to approach the problem from that. And so you have to have each part working together. And what is it working together to do? The first thing that you're trying to do is you're trying to be protected from the elements. So if you can't be protected from the elements, if you can't be protected from the rain or whatever conditions that you're in, then it's not going to achieve the end goal. So you need that level of protection. But now that you have that level of protection, how are you going to reach maximum comfort? And I think what Cocona does is we create a layering system that works together. And it works together to try to remove moisture out of the system. And it's trying to remove liquid in particular out of the system. And so when you look at most outer garments, they talk about vapor transmission rates. And vapor transmission rate is really important. But what happens when liquid forms? And there are cases when you're hiking or you're walking or working very hard and you start to perspire to a point where liquid forms. When that liquid forms, what good is that outer garment going to do you? And it doesn't do much because it's liquid, it's not vapor now. And so Cocona's system is designed to take that liquid and to convert it to vapor and to remove it. And so each part of the system has that built-in mechanism to convert liquid to vapor. And that's the really critical part. Because the first part that's next to your skin, you're going to have the liquid form on your skin. You need to be able to remove that off of your skin and put it into that base layer or the mover layer. That mover layer then spreads it out and tries to evaporate it as quickly as possible. But what happens if you have a bad mid layer? What happens if your mid layer can't handle the moisture? All it's going to do is move that moisture from the mover layer to your heater layer, let's say, or to that mid layer. If it just stops there, then the whole system shuts down. Let's say we're able to get past that mid layer and we get to the outer layer, and what happens if water starts to build up on the outer layer surface? All of a sudden, if you have a film of liquid on that outer membrane, now all of a sudden your vapor transmission rate is dropped dramatically. And so your whole system shuts down. So what Cocona does is in each and every layer, we convert liquid to vapor. So if you take that and you sum it together, all of a sudden you get an exponential change in the removal of that moisture. All of a sudden now your system is working together to get rid of that moisture or the perspiration that you're generating to try to get it out of your system. And it's getting it rid of in several ways. It's moving the liquid, it's evaporating the liquid, and it's allowing the vapor to escape. So when you talk about a system, when you talk about buying clothing, it's really important to sit down and say, wow, what am I going to wear under this? Because am I going to be able to maximize my performance? Or am I spending $500 on something where I go out and I don't get the maximum benefit from it? But if you buy Cocona products, they're all going to work together and you're going to maximize that performance benefit.